What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to look at all of the lovely alternate arts that are coming around in OP-08. There are a whole bunch of them, and annoyingly we don't have a nice, at least as I record this, we don't have a nice uniform look at all of the cards. I've had to pull the pictures from various places, but we do have them now, and that means we can take a look. And we might as well start off with Red and start off with Rally, who is, of course, making his debut in the set and does have the manga rare as well, which is probably fairly important. And I still think this manga rare is going to be a fairly standard manga rare, but standard doesn't mean bad. And what we got here, 8 cost, 8,000 power, on play, choose 2 of your opponent's characters. One of them gets minus 3k for the turn, one of them gets minus 2k for the turn, and then you KO a 3k or lower. Lack of counter makes me sad and it is expensive, but that is a good skill that can swing a game. Sticking in red, we've also got our first ever Kuraha, which I think also relevant and deserving of an alternate art. We got 1 cost, 2,000 power, we got a lovely Drum Kingdom character, and on play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Find a Tony Chopper or Drum Kingdom card other than Dr. Kuraha, pop it in your hand. It is your generic searcher, your generic Drum Kingdom searcher, but I appreciate the fact that it is very much sticking with the manga and anime and letting you go and get a chopper as well. That makes me happy. And speaking of which, we do have an alternate art chopper while we're here. Character chopper, not leader, I showed you that t'other day. 3 cost, 5,000 power, and during your turn, when you either play or attack, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find an animal character with a cost of 4,000 power or less, and play it rested. Which is honestly kind of ridiculous. There are some good animal characters I like in this set. This is one that I think could end up being really rather good. Now, I think that's what we've got in terms of red alternate arts. As always, please let me know in the comment section if I have missed one. But moving on into blue, we've got ourselves Edward Newgate. I like Edward Newgate. I like Newgate as a character. I think Newgate's super interesting in the manga. And also, while we're here, I do just think this is a pretty gosh darn good card. Expensive, but good. And what we got here, 10 cost, 12,000 power, no counter. But on play, if your leader is Whitebeard Pirates and you got 2 or less life, then until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent can't attack with any character. They can with a leader, but they can't attack with a character unless they just got 2 cards from their hand first, which is obviously funny and also super duper annoying. So yeah, that is one that I've absolutely got my eye on. The other one we see here in blue is Ace. Got a new Ace in this set, and we got an alternate art to go along with it. Quite nicely. And we've got 5 cost, 6,000 power, counter plus 1,000. On play, look at the top card of your deck. If it is a Whitebeard Pirate with a cost of 4 or less, you can play it, and then put the remaining cards to the top or bottom of your deck. Lets you play a card for free. Okay, fine, it's got to be a Whitebeard Pirate with a cost of 4 or less, but you're a 5 cost with, 6,000 power is not amazing, but it's not terrible. And then you get to play a character for free as well. Tell me that doesn't sound like fun. Now, if anybody's interested in the numbers game, Yellow wins the alternate arts in this set. Yellow has more than any other. Starting with Wiper. There's an alternate art Wiper. Not sure who really wanted an alternate art Wiper, but you got one. So, yay. And what we got here is a 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 2,000. And on play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Find an upper yard, yes, the stage card, add it to your hand. And then you can play an upper yard from your hand. So yes, obviously if you find one, you can play it. But it means that if you've got one in hand already, you can play that one and keep this new one. I'm not sure it really makes much of a difference, but you can search one and then play one. And that seems good to me. Yellow decks, some of them in this new set, really want to be playing around with upper yard. Now, obviously, Nami gets an alternate art. Come on, it's Nami. We were always getting an alternate art. And what we got here is 5 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And on play, you may trash a card with trigger from your hand and KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. And then if you've got 3 or fewer cards in hand, draw a card. So on play, you want to trash a card with trigger, but then you get to KO a 5 cost and draw a card. Sounds good to me. As a side note, your trigger will activate that ability as well. You don't get to play Nami, but you do still get the trigger, which sounds alright by me. And obviously, it's an alternate art Nami. People are going to like it. You know what else people are going to like? Alternate art Bonnie. People are definitely going to like the alternate art Bonnie, because people like Bonnie. 3 cost, 4,000 power, counter plus 1,000. As a trigger, draw 2, trash 1. Pretty nice. As a regular skill, Dawn X1 on your turn, once per turn. When your opponent loses a life, draw 2, trash 1. It's a character that just keeps drawing your cards. That's usually a very good thing. And then one more in yellow, we've got S-Snake. Yellow gets 4 ults, nobody else does. S-Snake, it's a super rare, so makes sense. We've got a trigger that does the same thing as the on-play. And the on-play says, one of your opponent's characters of a cost of 6 or less cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Except Monkey D. Luffy. You get to stop one of your opponent's characters attacking, but it doesn't affect Luffy, which again, if you read the manga, watch the anime, this makes perfect sense, and I love when cards do this. It makes me very happy. Over in green, we had to have a Carrot alternate art. We got a Carrot leader, we got a Carrot super rare. Carrot was always getting an alternate art. And we got 5 cost, 6,000 power, counter plus 1,000. On play and when attacking, up to one of your opponent's rested 7 cost or lower characters does not become active during its owner's next refresh phase. This is really like Mink's special skill in the set. They stop characters activating. It makes sense that this character would do it as well. Cool. The other green one we've got here is Pedro, which does kind of make sense. Pedro does look pretty gosh darn cool. And what we got from Pedro here is 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000 blocker. And when you're KO'd, you either get to rest one of your opponent's Dom, or you get to KO one of their rested 6 cost or lower characters. Either way, that is a decent amount of value from a character that's also a decent blocker, which sounds alright to me. Now, over in black, we've got Kaido. I like Kaido. Seriously, find the first issue of the manga where Kaido appears. I promise you, it's the best issue of the manga. I'm just telling you right now, it is the single best issue of the manga. It's the best standalone story. Maybe there's some more impactful moments, but you know what I mean. It's the best kind of standalone, best character introduction. Phrase it how you will. It's amazing. If you've not read it, go read it. I don't mean watch the anime. I mean go and read that one issue of the manga. I promise you, it's awesome. And what we got from Kaido here is 9 cost, 9,000 power, activate main, once per turn. You may discard a card from your hand, and if this character was played this turn, place up to one of your opponent's 7 cost or lower characters in the trash, and then your opponent discards a card from their hand. Yeah, this is pretty beefy. Do remember, as a rule in Query, this is very important, you are trashing one of their characters. You are not KOing them. So any KO skills do not activate. That is very important. We've got an alternate art of Queen. I pulled a Queen alternate art the other day from Korean OP-01. Check that opening if you haven't already. And we got Queen coming in here as a lovely alternate art if anybody's interested. And what we got is 1 cost, 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And it's your generic Animal Kingdom Pirate Searcher for black. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find an Animal Kingdom Pirates other than Queen, put it in your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. You know how this works by now. And then finally, we've got Jack, which is a super rare in the set, so it does make sense. 7 cost, 8,000 power. It's got a permanent +4 cost, so when it's in play, it's treated as an 11 cost. Still a 7 cost to play, obviously. And activate main, you may rest this card, draw 1, trash 1, KO one of your opponent's 3 cost or lower characters. And that's just an activate main. You can do it every turn if you want to. It's pretty good. Now, over in purple, we do have the Black Maria, which is actually one of the earlier ones I showed you in terms of alternate arts. But Black Maria is also a completely broken card we've talked about before. It is dumb how good this card is. What we got here is activate main once per turn. Oh, it's also got counter plus 2k. Just in case it wasn't good enough, it's free cost, 2,000 power, counter plus 2k. If you have no other Black Maria in play, add up to 5 Don cards from your Don deck rested. Now, at the end of your turn, you have to return Don until you've got the same number or less than your opponent. But again, you're purple, so you're often going to have less Don than your opponent. You're going to be using Don minus skills. And if you use Don minus skills to go lower than your opponent, then you can ramp up Don without having to give it back. Yeah, this is absurd. We've got Charlotte Linlin, who, let's face it, Linlin and Kaido, they're always the kind of characters that are going to have alternate arts, so it makes sense that Linlin would get an alternate art here. And we got 9 cost, 9,000 power, and on play, Don -1, trash a card from your hand, add a card from the top of your deck to your life, then put one of your opponent's characters of a cost of 6 or less to the top or bottom of their life face up. Sure, you do have to give them an extra life, but you also get to take one of their characters off the board. Seems like a decent trade. Oh, and then we've got Kaido and Linlin as a pair. This is another alternate art I previously showed you. I'm going to be honest, though, not a huge fan of the alternate art. I don't want my One Piece TCG cards to just be artwork from the anime. We've got the anime. I want new artwork on my alternate art cards, because so many of these have just phenomenal artwork. To get one which is just a picture from the anime honestly makes me a little bit sad. Like the regular art, though. And this is another card which is absolutely full-on bonkers ridiculous. 10 cost, 12,000 power. When attacking, Don -10. Important it's a when attacking skill because it gives your opponent a turn to prepare. KO all other characters. Then put a card from the top of your deck to your top of your life. Then trash a card from the top of your opponent's life. So you KO all other characters and have a 2-life swing. It's utterly absurd. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of these cards. Tell me what your favourite alternate art from the set is. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.